Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Errolspence says, might be the last time you see me. It looks like he and Sebastian Fundora have firmed things up for a fight late summer. They're trying to figure out the date that doesn't conflict with the Cowboys schedule. But anyway, it's going to be in the AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Now, for those of you who are wondering, you're saying, hey, man, Errolspence fighting Fundora? What did he do to earn the right to fight Fundora for a title? Well, I'm going to tell you what he did. He lost to Terrence Crawford. I guess when you get your ass kicked, that means that you go on and you fight for a title in another weight division. Secret society in full effect. But I'm not hating on him because I think Errolspence, he's never been disrespectful. I can't recall Errolspence ever anything distasteful about him, nothing. I think Errolspence has kind of been, cool as a cucumber, just chilling. Out here trying to fight the best. No warm-ups, no soft touches. And although he went and Crawford put the bing-bings on him, I'm not worried about what anyone else says. But for me, I think for the most part, Errolspence, he held his head high, he took his licks, and he's pushing forward now. Now, the uniqueness of Errolspence, because you take a look at the 154-pound division, I think any and everybody who's somebody at 154 is going to probably want to put the bing-bings on him because Errolspence, again, he's coming off of a loss, and then you can see he gets ranked in the number one position by the WBC. How he jumped over everyone else who's been putting their work at 154, I don't get it. To go straight at Fundora, I just don't get it. But we all know the secret society is in full effect. Politics is definitely alive and kicking. And when you listen to Leonard Ellaby, he told us, it's not going to be Terrence Crawford being first in line for anything. It's going to be Errolspence. And it's because PBC takes care of PBC. And that's just how it is, right? But Leonard Ellaby told us that. So now you're seeing what some would say predicted. It's coming to fruition. So the bottom line is Errolspence is in that number one spot, which I just think is a little, I think it's a little unfair. But again, I'm not too worried because Errolspence, when he fights, he's going to do big numbers. But at the end of the day, he's fighting Fundora, man. Now, when it comes to Sebastian Fundora, we take a look at him, man, 21-1-1. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth. When it comes to, I call him a cockroach, man, because of the way he's tall and long with the extremities. He looked like antenna. He looked to me like a cockroach. But I will say this and understand this, man. When Errolspence says might be my last time, but the way I interpret that, right? The way I interpret that is Errolspence is telling me if he loses to Fundora, he's done. And I'm going to tell you, I see some people out there like, easy win for Errolspence. Errolspence is back. Boom. Got the WBC title. Green, money green. Looking good on that. Stop it. Errolspence him beating Fundora is not a foregone conclusion. It's not. What I will tell you is Fundora was fighting Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu was putting the Aussie oys on him. Australian beans on Fundora. The mishap happened, right? The accidental elbow, whatever. But even over the course of that fight, Tim Tszyu was still touching him up. And I think if he didn't have all that blood, water falling into his eyes, I definitely feel Tszyu would have knocked him out cold. He was on his way to knocking him out cold because Fundora is there to be hit. But I did notice in spots, and I got to be fair, Fundora was trying to stay behind his jab. And now when you talk about Fundora and his jab, you're talking about Fundora having a damn 80-inch reach. And I'm telling you, if he stays behind his jab, Fundora is going to be in a safe zone. And I just think you're going to be one of those situations. Where are we at here? Let me pull something up, right? I think you're going to be one of those situations where I think if Fundora can stay disciplined and make the fight easy, then Fundora is going to, I think you're going to start to kind of break up Errolspence's face from the jab alone and all that scar tissue and all that stuff that exists with Errolspence. You're going to start to get a bit exacerbated, and Spence's his face is going to kind of start to divide and split up like the goddamn Red Sea. Now where are we at here? I'm going to show y'all something. There it is. Because Sebastian Fundora is 6'5", some say 6'6", 80.5-inch reach. This is moving slow, but let's see if we can pull it up to show you what the problem is going to be. Okay, this is the problem. This is the problem right here. Right? That's old Errol Spence Jr., right? Errol Spence Jr., right? The record and everything is good. 28 wins, 22 KOs. He has a loss to Crawford by knockout. 72-inch reach, about 5'9". Now, I'm 6 feet tall. I don't know what my reach is, but Errol Spence has pretty long arms for somebody who's 5'9". Now, he struggled in there with Terrence Crawford's reach, right? Now, remember, Errol Spence's reach, 72 inches, okay? Now, I'm going to show you something here, all right? Let me pull this up. Remember, 72-inch reach for Errol Spence. Now I'm going to show you something. And this is, we're going to all come together here. Internet going slow, man. Whenever Friday and everybody come home, shit start to run super slow. But I'm going to show you what the problem is right now. Okay, while it's pulling up right now, I'm going to show you. I hate when it does this. Okay, here we go. This is the problem. He fought Southpaw, man, Terrence Crawford. 40 wins, 31 KOs, 5'8", about the same height as Spence, 74-inch reach. So Crawford had a 2-inch reach advantage, and he was driving Errol Spence crazy with his jab, with his left hand. Those long arms were getting to Errol Spence, and there's only a 2-inch reach advantage. And he was, Errol Spence wasn't able to get beyond it. Errol Spence was reaching and doing a lot of rookie things, in my opinion. And again, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about it. If Errol Spence was or wasn't 100%. The bottom line is he lost to Terrence Crawford. And I think the reach had something to do with it. Timing had something to do with it. And I think Errol Spence's inactivity also factored in, because you got to be fair, right? But I really think that reach had a whole lot to do with it. Errol Spence just not being able to get out of the way of shots. Terrence Crawford having that spatial recognition and kind of understanding his distance and knowing what he couldn't get away with, depending on the range that he was holding in the ring. But while this is pulling up, I want to show y'all. So Errol Spence is a 72-inch reach. Crawford has a 74-inch reach. Let me show you why I think he's going to be a problem for. I think he's going slow, boy. I need to make some coffee, man. I'm tired. Anyway, while this is dragging ass, I'm going to come back over here. It'll pop up in a second. Lord have mercy, man. Okay, here we go. We got some movement. Man, I don't know why this shit does this, boy. When everybody come home on Friday afternoon, the internet starts dragging, but then all 4 of my boys are home and they on their goddamn internet and TV's going. It's crazy. We got a damn near 5,000 square foot house. Every room has a TV and iPads and phones. So they be on here running hard. Man, what the hell? Man, I got to pull it up off of here. But what I was going to show you was Errol Spence has a 72-inch reach. Crawford has a 74-inch reach. Crawford in his reach gave Spence a lot of problems. See, there it goes. See, the goddamn internet. And Fundora has an 80-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. 80-inch reach. If Crawford gave him problems with his 74-inch reach, what do you think is going to happen with Fundora if Fundora stays behind the jab? You know what I'm saying? Fundora is going to give him serious problems. Okay, here we go. Tell you the internet running slow over here. I hate when it does that. It's frustrating. I just clicked on, there we go right there. God damn, it took forever, right? But here goes Cockroach Man. 80-inch reach. Spence 72. So Fundora has 8 inches of reach. He's going to put all up in Errol Spence's mouth. 8 inches all up in your mouth. And I don't know how Errol Spence is going to try to negate that. Let me tell you something. Fundora for the victory. I said it. You can get mad. You can, unsubscribe from the channel. You can say, screw you here, champion. You just don't know what you're talking about. What I got to say is this. Screw you, subscriber or non-subscriber. Errol Spence will lose. This man has an 8-inch reach advantage. If he stays behind that, Errol Spence loses. Crawford had a 2-inch reach advantage and had Errol Spence looking crazy. I understand the weight. I get it. 147, 154. Errol Spence really should probably fight at 168. Y'all see him walking around? The man got muscles in his face, muscles in his back. His butt has muscles. You know what I'm saying? He like Mike Tyson kind of build. He shouldn't even be fighting at 154. But let me tell you the other problem here. Errol Spence is not with Derrick James. Somebody else is going to lead Errol Spence into battle. It's a suicide mission. Suicide is a suicide. He's going to be in between trainers, trying to do what his new trainer is trying to teach him, instead of building off of what Derrick James taught him. Probably going to show him some shit and have him kind of in between styles. And you've seen it happen with the Daniel Jacobs. You see when Teofimo Lopez, when Joey Gamache left and he went back to doing things his dad's way, how he fell apart. You saw it there with Deontay Wilder, losing Mark Breland and picking up Freaky Maliki. You see it with a lot of fighters when they're in between trainers. They just don't look that good. Caleb Plant left his original trainer and moved over to this other guy. You know what I'm saying? He happened to get the knockout against Darrell. Then they took him into with Benavidez thinking, okay, here we go. He's got power. He's got this. Got into with Benavidez. Benavidez put the bing bings on him. What I'm getting at is I don't think it's going to be any different for Errol Spence. In between trainers. Inactivity. Unfortunate thing. Car accident. 2 of them. Crawford beating the shit out of him. Body can't possibly be near even 60, 75%. Not even 60% after that violent car accident. And the man is out here like a superhero, still getting busy. But I just think it's time for him to hang it up. This fight with Fundora, I think, is one fight too many for Errol Spence. And I'm going to keep saying that. Even if he wins, retire Errol Spence. Retire. Because if Fundora does what he's known to do at times, as being 6'5", 6'6", and choosing to fight like Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Your name is Sebastian Fundora. You even got a long name. Your name is 6'5". Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Cruz. That's somebody suited for someone who's 5'2". Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora. That's a 6'5" name right there. You want to fight like you Pitbull Cruz? So if you come in there with that bullshit and Errol Spence can get to him, and Errol Spence being a southpaw, he may be able to put the bing bings on Fundora. But I just think Fundora learned his lesson and saw, hey, although Tim Tszyu had a cut on the top of his head, I had some success working behind my jab. Hey, for Errol Spence, I'll try it there. And I think Errol Spence, Fundora can have a lot of success. Because my understanding is Fundora can crack. They say Fundora can crack. He looks simple, he looks thin, but they say that big matchstick has some power. Y'all can disagree if you want. Remember, I don't put emotion into this shit. I try to be practical. Errol Spence is coming off of getting the shit beat out of him. Inactivity, right? Still, I worry about how he is physically from the car accidents. In between trainers. Still cutting down to a weight where probably too small for him. All the advantage goes to Sebastian, Cockroach Man, Matchstick Man, Fundora. All the advantage goes there. And if he can stay disciplined, he wins the fight, I think, rather easily. But if he chooses to fight like Pitbull Cruz, Errol Spence may touch him up. But we just got to wait and see. But anyway, this whole thing about might be the last time you see me. Yeah, if Errol Spence wins the title, where we at here? If he wins the title, Errol Spence goes on to bigger and better. I'll make some coffee. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm glad I did that live earlier, boy, because right now is not the time to go live because the goddamn internet is running super slow. The morning and at night is pretty good, but during the midday, it's horrendous. Okay, but this is just running so goddamn, boy. Days like this, I miss being on my business trips and shit, and being having the mobile hotspot. I had one that was you could charge it and take it with you. All right, this is what I wanted to show you. If Errol Spence wins, he could fight the winner of Crawford and Madrimov. He could fight the winner of Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu. He could fight this guy Bakram Murtazayev if he still ends up being the champion. The bottom line is Errolspence, he got some work to do if he wins. The thing is, if he wins, and I'm not so sure what happens with Errolspence. I'm being honest with you. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. I'm glad to see Errolspence back, kind of, but I'd rather Errolspence just stays retired. I'm telling you, I think this is one fight too many. I do. And you can say, oh man, Errolspence will be fine. Look, that's not what I'm talking about. He's been through a lot. It's like me, man. I'm now to the point where I'm ready to go back out here and work or do something. I formed my LLC, bidding on government contracts and shit, getting that bubbling up. But it took me about 5 years after I retired, man, to be there. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about 25 years just being on go. You know what I'm saying? After 25 years of what I did, 4 of those years I was on the road. That's a lot of time on the road. Very high tempo. Everything is a break glass in case of emergency moment. It's crazy. So I've actually come way down from where my commitment level was crazy. I was high intensity. So the fact that I do this YouTube channel, I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been able to do this shit first 2 years I retired. Yeah, I'd be out here going off on people. But I'm much better now. So now my sons are older, but I just think you shouldn't force things. And with Errol Spence, for me, I think he's forcing this fight. But at the same time, let me tell you something. Somebody was going to give me goddamn $5-6 million to go overseas for 6 months, for 3 years, on and off. Yeah, I would have done it. Even though I wouldn't have wanted to. My kids are small. With that kind of money's not everything, but understand if you make a sacrifice now to make a gain, you never had to do shit ever else again in your life. Errol Spence is already at that point. But I think this is his last, you know what? Let me go grab this quick $30 million. And if I win, go on to something else. If I lose, then it's over. But Errol Spence, as far as what he came into boxing to do, which was create legacy, done. Establish financial freedom for him, his kids, done. You know what I'm saying? And right now it looks like he still has all his faculties about him. But Errol Spence has gone through some serious shit. It's like, but somebody said, well, hey, Vinny Pazienza, he broke his neck and came back, and he did just fine. I don't really have nothing to say. I'm not going to say someone's right or wrong. I think it's their choice to do what they're doing, but in my opinion, I think this is one fight too many for Errol Spence. And I personally, with Vinny Pazienza, I personally think maybe he shouldn't have came back, but he came back and he did all right. So you just never know. But for me, I don't know. You watch so much boxing, start feeling like you know these cats. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, man. Even Tyson Fury, everybody know I feel he's a cheat. But man, I don't want to see nothing happen to these cats in the ring. You know what I'm saying? None of them. I don't know none of them. I got my opinion about these cats as boxers, but the human side of me, I don't want to see nothing happen to them dudes, man. You really start feeling like you know these dudes. But anyway, that don't mean nothing. They're gonna do what they want, right? Their choice, but they gotta deal with the consequences. Cool. Give me something to talk about, right? Oh, by the way, I just hit over 10K subscribers. So yay, thank you, supporters. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.